And so at the maximum, and then it kind of changes over time. But yeah, it's a lot of drawing, a lot of iterating. We're drawing all these sequences by hand, and then we're doing it again and again and again and again. So I'll talk to you through. I'm going to show you the process of a scene. So just a little bit about myself. I was a feature storyboard artist for 8 years, and then I've been head of story for about the last 2. I was head of story on Goat, and now I'm head of story on Mitchell's vs. the Machines 2, which will be coming out on Netflix in a couple years. I've worked at Warner Brothers, DreamWorks, Netflix. I worked on Trolls Band Together, The Willoughbys, Addams Family, and Pinocchio. I've been here in LA for about the last 6 years. I've worked in Canada, and my biggest inspirations are 90s anime, survival horror games, and David Lynch.
Which anime?
Oh, I love Sailor Moon.
Oh, we love you now.
Yeah, like lots of the 2000 stuff.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Love you.
All right. So, day in the life. So we start with the script that we get from our wonderful writers. We'll get delivered these pages. I'll sit down with the directors, producers, and then we will read through the pages. We will get like assigned different voice parts. I would often read the part of Flo when we would read our pages. Also Hannah. And we will see like, okay, is this scene serving the movie overall? Is it saying what we want to say? Is it clear? Is it funny? When the characters speak, does it sound like what they would say? We edit the dialogue, we edit the action notes, and then we launch them to the storyboard artists who start to bring these scenes to life. So I'm gonna read a little bit of this page for you. Interior, sneaker shop, day. Pops of a classic sneaker store. Will, Daryl, and Hannah stand across from a vulture haggling over sneakers. Will. Boom! Check these out. Electric green on cement gray, nocturnal freeze in the flesh. Jet wore these in the furball game. Normally sell for about 6, but I'll give it to you for 5. The vulture delicately takes the shoes from the box to examine them and goes in for a deep sniff. Daryl gets emotional. Hannah holds him back. So you get the idea from the script. Like, I've got a pretty basic description of who's in the scene, where it's located, what they're doing, what they're saying. Now it's up to me to kind of go into my mind and imagine if I was standing with these characters in like a real room and I had a camera, how would I place the camera and cut the shots to best portray this action so it's clear and funny and interesting to watch? So now I will go to the rough version of the storyboard. This would be, after I've had the script for about a week, I go off and I like draw by myself for a while. So when we started the sequence, we actually had a bunch of this live action footage to work with. Tyree really wanted to capture like the vibe of Vineland. There was music underneath this. And then I was like, okay, we could keep this live action, send it to edit, they make it into the animatic, and that's fine. Or I could draw over these and make it look like Vineland. That was my big goal. So you see, these are very rough drawings. Little red arrows in the top that kind of explain how I want to move the camera. We see this mural of the thorns here. This is a beautiful drawing by Tyree. And then I pitched an alt of how I would place the camera a little differently to show the exterior of the sneaker store. We've got some more live action footage here for the interior. And then we're gonna get some drawings of the characters. So we see Will and his friends here in the sneaker store. We see the drawings are a little, these are actually kind of cleanish drawings, but we see the basic movements of the characters. These are some more of my rough drawings. I draw in like most of the poses I want to portray, the main actions. Like I want Daryl to rush forward and act really dramatic because he really wants these shoes. And then so pull him back. But you see the characters are like see-through. I haven't put color on them yet. And their drawing of their faces is pretty rough. But I'm just trying to portray the idea to the directors and producers. Like, this is how I want to do it. Then I'll get notes from them. Oh, how can we make this funnier? Let's change the camera here. Let's actually have them do this. So I'll go off on my own again for about a week. Draw, get more notes. Draw. And then, so this one took about 3 weeks. Then we get to the final storyboard, which I'm going to pitch through now. All right. We start on the streets of Vineland. We see the hills in the distance, the Thorns mural on the wall. The bus goes by. We see the sneaker store. We cut inside, and we see there's shoes for everybody, big, smalls. There's merch for every team. Big smalls, or big shoes, little shoes. And this whole wall of shoes, we come out when suddenly, boom! Check these out. Will slams the shoebox on the counter. Electric green on cement gray nocturnal threes in the flesh. The vulture opens the sneaker box and holds it up, and we see our friends Will, Daryl, and Hannah. Jet wore these in the furball game. Normally, these sell for around 6, but I'll give it to you for 5. And the vulture kind of swirls the shoe around and plunks his nose into it and takes a big sniff and pulls his nose out and Will's disgusted. Daryl's blubbering and he runs forward. Not the 3s! And Hannah pulls him back. I wanted those. She puts him down gently. But you're broke. If I had the 3s, I wouldn't lick it. Yes, you would. She pats him on the head as the camera swings back over to Will, who looks at the vulture. He's carefully examining the shoe. Bling, bling, bling. He swirls his finger in there. Boop. And
Ew.
takes the taste. Ugh. Nasty. $2.50. Ugh, $2.50. How dare you? Will, come on. I can pay in installments. Daryl, my landlord can't. I can't watch this. And Hannah puts her hands on her as we go back to Will. So, 400? 240. It's going down. 230. Oh, stop, please. When suddenly, buzz, 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 in Daryl's pocket, he pulls out his phone. Yo, you're not gonna believe this. Maid's at the cage and he's taking on all challengers. Will, this could be your shot. Will's in shock. He looks back at the shoes one last time. When the vulture pulls out a stack of cash from his pocket. So, we doing this or what? Fine. He tosses in the cash. And the friends run off to their next adventure.
Aww.
That's crazy.
So cool.
So then, once we've gotten to that stage, I pass off all those boards to editorial, who puts it together into a rough animatic. So we can kind of watch it like it's rough animation. They put in the voices, the music. We get a real feel of the scene and feel of the movie as a whole. And then it's passed to lots of different departments. Layout, who sets up the digital elements inside of Maya, I believe they work in. They set up the camera, the rough character. That gets passed to animation, who brings characters to life. And then to lighting, who lights the scene and makes the beautiful final picture you all saw in the theater. So I'm gonna play kind of a combination of a bunch of those things so you can see the different parts of the process after me. Here we go. Let me turn on the sound. Come on, sound.
That's all me, I call it.
Boo! Check these out. Violent green Fillmore 4s. In the flesh! Chet wore these in the football game. Normally, these sell for around 6, but I'll give it 6. A 5.
No, not no 4s. Oh, I wanted those.
But you're broke.
Look, if I had the 4s, I wouldn't look it. Pristine mesh. Top laces. Nutty.
Nasty. $2.50? How dare you?
Come on, Will.
So, I'll
I
talk
can do
through a
this
few
look
of
at you.
these. Here, this shot. This is layout. So you can see, this is where they bring in like the props of the background, the set, the rough version of the shoe, and the rough version of the vulture as well. And there's some very simple, rudimentary version of the animation, right? And the camera move. That's just so that can be passed on to the animator, who can really bring it to life. This gets to this, which is rough animation. You can see there's no like fur simulation, there's no lighting, and the animators do the character performance that entertains us all. And then we get to something like this. If it wants to play. There we go. Which is a final lit scene. It's a little pixelated on my screen, but this was like the final image you saw in the theater, where everything's lit, moody, beautiful. We got all the color, the fur, the feathers, everything. So it all comes together. There's a lot of people working in a lot of departments, hundreds of people who work on these movies to bring it all together. So that's the process. So now, let's draw Will.
Yay.